I did a diesel program in high school, and part of that was a Skills USA competition. I didn't want to have a bunch of student debt, so I actually went through the Skills USA competitions and got a bunch of scholarship money from that, from UNOH. And then I toured the school, and I actually toured a couple schools, and I toured UNOH. And when I was walking through the facilities and talking to the teachers, I just got the best feeling out of all of them, and just realized that they had the most resources, and it seemed like the collective knowledge of all the teachers was way above any other school. I don't have any automotive background, so at first, I was a little lost coming in. I had a little bit from high school working diesel stuff, but a lot of the gasoline engine stuff, no idea. So I was a little lost at first, but most of the teachers, if you don't know and you ask, they'll just tell you. Or if they don't know, they can find out the answer and let you know. So there was a big learning curve, but the information was there and it was readily available. And the hands-on training is pretty much, that's priceless, because going from not knowing anything, not having any experience, to actually getting that hands-on experience in the shop is just priceless. I definitely think the race team was some of my best time there at the school, because so originally me and a couple of roommates applied because it looked like something fun to do and a good way to get hands-on experience again. Just like everybody else, I started, wet behind the ears, and went through the normal process of learning where everything was in the shop and learning stuff about the cars and working on some of the cars, starting with smaller jobs. And they actually have a group of people that build the engines for the team, and that really appealed to me, and that's what I wanted to do. So I basically kind of just worked hard and kept trucking at it until I got kind of into that group. And then from there, just learned even more. That was the hands-on experience that really seemed valuable to me. Being a part of that team, they also ended up doing kind of like this traveling gig where we would tear down an engine on stage, fire it up, tear it down, put it back together, and fire it up again. And kind of because of my background with the team doing engine stuff already, I kind of got to do that and travel with the team. So we would go to Florida every year and race. And then I got to represent the school doing that at Daytona and a few Monster Jam events. And that was a huge gift and a lot of fun as well. They reached out to the school looking for a recent graduate that they could incorporate into their show and try and get more information and more tech across in an organic way. So they reached out to the school, and one of the people they talked to was Paul Higgins, the head coach of the race team. And because of my time on the race team and I guess some of the effort I'd put in and the things I'd done, he recommended me. And then from there, I went through a normal interview process and came down and toured the shop and got to talk to my co-host, Pat, and kind of feel it out. And, I had a good feeling and they seemed to like me. So I landed the job and moved to Tennessee. In a general sense, we make automotive television, but it's more of like a DIY kind of television. It's not purely for entertainment. We try and get a lot of technical information across in the show. Basically, we will get an engine in, tear it down, maybe do some custom work to it, or maybe we're just building it for a specific application. And all this is on camera, on screen. We'll build it up, and then we actually have a really nice Superflow dyno in-house, so we will put it on the engine dyno and dyno it and see what it makes. We get to do a lot of different projects because we build engines for the other 3 shows that are in the building, and those guys are always coming up with weird and crazy projects. So we do everything from, your standard big block Chevy to we just did an AMC inline 6 not too long ago. And so we kind of get a broad spectrum of engines that we like to build. I would say pretty much 95% of what I know, I learned at UNOH. Everything from assembly processes to degreeing a cam. That was actually one of the first questions Pat asked me when I came in to tour the shop. He asked me if I knew how to degree a cam, and I said yes, because obviously I learned it at UNOH. And even, like I said, we have an in-house engine dyno, and it's the exact model that they have. They have 2 of them at the school, and so I showed up already knowing how to run that dyno. And things like that all the time. Almost everything that I know and that I can incorporate in this job were things that I learned or picked up while I was at UNOH. They don't center on one kind of racing. There's schools where you can go to learn only about NASCAR, but UNOH kind of has a well-rounded education where they'll teach you anything you want to know, and they get so many students in from different parts of the country and different backgrounds where they have different interests. So they have to have a broad range of racing and motorsports that they, can inform on and teach about. And so I think because of that, they also get a wide range of students that leave and end up in different applications like mine, being an engine builder, that's what I wanted to do. But I have friends that, are in NASCAR, work in machine shops, some work on NHRA teams. There's so much that you can do, and the opportunities are pretty much endless because of the education you get. I would say before I went to UNOH, I was kind of hesitant to try things. Not always in the sense of failing. Sometimes it was just, scared of failing, but, sometimes it was the cost incurred of failing, things like that. But I think being there and getting the hands-on education and just having the ability to try things kind of led me to be a more open person. And, if I don't know how to do something, well, I'll either figure it out or I will try it and see what happens. And failure is kind of less scary for me, I guess, and kind of opened up more doors because now I'm more likely to try things or try and learn something new that I didn't know before.